Well, welcome everybody to Midpoint, one of my favorite places to be. My name is Mark. If you do not know me,
yeah, Mark.
Let's go. I'm so excited to be with you all today. All right. So I'm pretty geeked out this morning, and I kind of want to measure and see if some of you guys are as geeked as me. And I know that sometimes I'm a little crazy and weird. So many of you know that. However, when I was driving in this morning and my car said -3, I was so happy. Yeah. I love cold. I love snow. Is there anybody else that's so crazy like me where you just love it being this cold? Yeah. Okay, I really thought I was going to be alone because a lot of times people out here just love the sun and the warm, and I'm like, no, give me this when I can't even see the sky and it's cold. How about this? Do you guys, those of you who raise your hand, do you love when you go outside and it's that cold and you breathe it through your nose and you can feel it down your throat, and you can feel the cold in your stomach? Is it just me, or do you guys too?
Yeah!
And then you do it too many times, you're like, and then it just burns your throat. Oh man, I do it every time. I fall for it. But guys, I love it being cold, so I also am geeked out for another reason that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are as well, but it's Christmas in a week! Yeah. It's so fun! This is like the best time of year. And, so I'm thinking about, wow, I feel so blessed I get to share a message with you guys at Christmas time. And what do I want to do at Christmas? If I could do anything at Christmas, I think I really would want to draw closer to Jesus. I want to experience him more. I want to know him more. I want to figure out, how do I actually feel closer with him? And so I want to walk you guys through some things that I've learned in the past few years, and especially in the past few months that I've been practicing and working on and drawing closer to Jesus. But to draw close to Jesus, I think we really need to understand, what was his mission? What did he do? Why did he come to this earth? I mean, we don't have Christmas without Jesus, and without Christmas we don't have Jesus, and without Jesus we don't have Christmas, and it's just I don't know, they kind of represent the same thing. So to know Jesus, I want to know what he was about. And so, through my understanding of the Bible, among many other things, a few of the main things he was about was loving every single person where they're at and accepting them and helping you feel that love. And then also about setting us free. And so I was like, okay, I read this in the Bible about Jesus wanting to set us free. And I'm like, what would he set us? If he wants to set me free, that means I must be in bondage to something. I must carry some sort of a burden of sorts. And so I started thinking about this, and I'm like, what takes me from my freedom, or what steals my freedom? And a lot of times I think that I steal my own freedom. Now hang with me, because I think you guys may agree and feel the same about yourself. But I started thinking things like, oh, if I say that, what are they going to think? If I wear this, what's that person going to think? Okay, I'm lining up for the basketball shot, and what if I miss? Or, who am I? Right? So I start doing all these things, and in doing that, I start thinking that I have to be this, thing, and I can't be that, and I can't be this, and I actually steal some of my own freedom. Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, I think sometimes we do this. And so, one way I steal my freedom, and have stolen a lot of my own freedom in my life, is I actually haven't allowed myself to feel a lot of things that I should feel. Now, some of you are going to be with me on this, but I hate feeling negative emotions. I hate being sad. I hate being angry, and I hate being scared. I hate it. So, literally, when these things start coming in, and someone says something mean to me or whatever, a lot of times my initial reaction is to just hit this autopilot button, and just keep going forward. And your words just bounce off the side of me, and you can't hit me, and tomorrow's going to be another day. I'm just going to live for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be another good day. Hey, Mark, how you doing today? Hey, I'm great. I'm great. Really? Yeah, I'm great. Hey, Mark, how you going to be tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. Every day is a new day. Autopilot. And, I kind of box myself into not experiencing all of myself. So I think I lose some of my freedom in that. And so just so you guys know, Jesus really does want us to have our full freedom. So listen to this verse in Galatians 5, okay? It says this: "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourself be burdened." Okay, so when I read this, I feel like this verse gives me a choice. Okay, so one choice, let me come over here. One choice is over here, and I can hang on to my burdens. I can hang on to these things. I don't even know they're there. I can pretend that I'm not hurting. I can pretend that what so-and-so said or what my mom said or what my friend said didn't hurt me. And I can pretend and I can just hang on to these burdens and bury them and pretend that they're not there. Or I can draw closer to Jesus and enter into the freedom that he's brought me in my life. Do you guys see the choice? I mean, I feel like it's freedom or living with burdens. And it's like, well, man, I want to pursue Jesus. I want to get to know him, and this choice, I want to choose freedom. And so, 8th graders, you guys are going to be totally on board with me in this, okay? So, I want to share a story with you guys of what happened to me when I was your all's age. I went to a pretty big middle school. There was 300 students a grade or so, and so, there's a lot of pressure from a lot of people. You got to make the sports teams, and you got to, all these kind of things. And the truth is, if something bad gets said about you, it goes through, in middle school, through everyone's ears in like a day. And like everyone knows. You guys know what I'm talking about, 8th grade? You guys been through it? You have been through it. You know if someone says something. So, I had this rumor started about me almost at the end of 8th grade year. And it was bad. And it hurt me. It hurt me so much. And in all honesty, this is the first time that I'm going to even share this story. Because what I did and how I reacted to it was burying it. I pretended that I didn't feel it. And I just said, you know what? I'm not even, I moved schools. And so I just forgot about it. Because I could. And I felt that that was the best way to deal with it. So, I will tell you guys a little bit more about the story. Hang tight. Okay? But when we carry this burden of pain, and we try to kind of ignore it, we don't really know what to do with it. And we often try to distance ourselves from it. But here's the thing. We really can't. Okay? So hang with me. You got this burden. What do you guys think of as a burden? Like, what could I possibly carry that would be a burden? How about a super big, super heavy chain? I mean, that looks a little crazy. So, there's 3 things that really happen. Okay? 3 things that we do. 1, when we ignore this pain, we start to carry this burden around, and we may think it's not there. You guys would come up to me and be like, yo, Mark, what's up, man? I'll be like, nothing, you're good. What are you talking about? And you're like, you don't seem yourself today. You seem a little off. And I'll be like, no, I'm pretty normal. Everything's good, And you're like, dude, you got a big chain on yourself. And I'm like, whatever. So you carry this burden, you carry this chain, and you don't even actually recognize that it's there. I mean, we don't want this there, right? The second thing, okay? We do a second thing. And that, all right, this is going to be a little tricky. But we actually shrink our emotional capacity, okay? Like, oh my gosh, Mark, pulling out your counselor terms. Emotional capacity. Okay, well, listen to this. I'm going to explain it to you. So, you've got 2 blocks here, okay? In this hand, I've got my negative emotions, okay? The worst things that I could feel. This is like despair, alone. No one cares about me. Like, would anyone even notice if I didn't come to school? Whatever else, death in your family, sickness. I mean, that's the worst things you can kind of feel. So that's in this block. Now in this block, you've got the best feelings that you could have. I mean, that's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait for Christmas. It's in a week. It's in 1 week. Like, do you know? Like, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to wake up at 4 in the morning, I'm going to run around with all these bells, and I'm going to wake up on my family, and they're going to notice me, but I'm going to get gifts. It's going to be awesome! It's like so excited. I mean, this is like when you guys are in 7th or 8th grade and then you get a note from a girl and you're like, oh my gosh, she likes me! Right? You're just so excited. Okay, so here's your 2. All right, so this is the full spectrum. I know you guys may not be able to see all this, but I'm going to put the block here, and I'm going to put this one here. Okay, so let's see. It's about as long as me, and okay, there we go. So that's my full self, okay? So when I am being my full self, I can experience the negative all the way up here to the best. I can experience all of it. Now, when I start denying certain things and pushing that autopilot, that button, and just saying like, hey, I'm just going to be fine, every day is going to be good, or whatever, this is what I do to the negative side. I bring it in towards the middle and make it a little bit smaller. Now, here's the problem. When you bring in that negative side and don't allow yourself to experience that, you do the same thing to the positive. So it comes in at the same rate. So now I've got a little space in between. Now, I could trick you guys because look, I can still fit in between these. So I'm still here and I can say, hey, this is my full self. You guys see me? This is me. And you might get tricked and say, oh yeah, that's who I think that you are. When really, it's that full long thing. But guess what happens when it gets even worse than that? And you keep ignoring and you keep denying. Well, you bring these two and you put them together and there's no space in between. And this is what we call numb. When you really can't hardly feel anything. And you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. You kind of stop caring about things. Okay, so that's the second thing that happens. Okay, now the third thing that happens when we ignore these emotions is when we get to this point, we either cave in or we explode. Okay? So cave in is when we start thinking these things of, oh, I'm really not good enough. Like, should I really be here? Like, if Jesus really knew who I was, would he even care? Would he want to be with me? Do my friends want to be with me? I mean, sometimes my dad doesn't want to be with me. So, like, what? People don't even want to be with me. So that's caving in. It's beating up yourself. Or this negative side right here explodes this way, and that's when you start like biting people and punching people and cursing at people and yelling at in class and doing whatever else people do when you explode. Now, raise your hands if you have ever exploded on someone or if someone else has exploded on you. I mean, guys, we do this, right? We do this. And we explode on people, and it's not necessarily fair. And what did they even do to us? It was sometimes even just us not allowing ourselves to experience our full self. And we want to, so we break into that. We try to get free by exploding. All right, well, here's the truth, okay? If you guys miss everything else, please listen to this, okay? This is it. Matthew 11:28-30. Jesus tells us what to do in these times. He says this. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Because a yoke is just kind of something that keeps you on the path. So you take up this yoke, this journey of being with Jesus, and you find that his burden is light. Okay, so remember this. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So this is where we need to go. Okay? Now, I'm going to introduce you guys to a thing that me and all the other residents here, we've gone through for a few years now. And it's pretty simple, but it's something that really helps me starting to get in touch with my emotions. And it's called SASHAY. Okay? This is an acronym, you guys can see up here. And I'm going to walk you through each of these emotions. These are the core emotions. Now, you can argue with me and say that there's some other ones, and there probably is, but these are the ones that have worked really well for me. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys. So you can be sad. So sad is like someone in your family is really sick, and you know they're not going to be here for very long. Or you see someone else, and you're sad for them. You see someone get picked on. Or you get picked on. Or someone says that you're an idiot. And you're like, what? Really? Angry. Angry is that explosion, right? It's saying, you did this to me, and I'm so angry with you. Or you did that to somebody else, and I do not like you. I'm going to get you back. That's angry. Scared? Guys, scared, I always think of stepping up to the free throw line at basketball, and I'm just like, okay. And then you shoot an air ball or something. It's because you were just scared. I mean, you can do that all the time. I mean, scared of a roller coaster. I mean, even scared of being alone. What if people left you? That's a scary thought. Happy. You guys have a pretty good idea of what happy is, but it's just kind of like, hey, it's not fake happy. It's like I'm actually really happy. Like I feel really loved. It was my birthday, and I had so many people celebrate me, and I felt really special. That's happy. Excited. And that girl wrote you the note? Yeah, you guys are excited. You guys are excited. I know it. When you score a bunch of baskets in the basketball game, when you hit a home run, you're so excited. And Tinder is the most confusing one of them all. I like to explain Tinder as it's everything combined. And you're just kind of like, I don't really know what I'm feeling, but I know I'm feeling a lot. And it's just like all these things are bouncing off me, and it's just, I don't know. I just feel Tinder, and can you accept me in my feeling? That's kind of Tinder. So, who of you in this room likes feeling sad, angry, or scared? Got a few. Maybe you're a little more comfortable with that. Well, I tell you what, I, capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E, hate it, and I have forever. Okay, so I spent a lot of my life running from these feelings and doing everything I could. I hit that autopilot button, and I just went for it. But guys, recently I was really convicted of doing that. And so in my quiet time with the Lord, I asked him, I'm like, God, is there any feeling that I have ignored for so long that you could meet me in? Is there anything you want to re-stir up for me? And he reminded me of my story in 8th grade. And I tell you what, I had not remembered this story because I had shoved it so far down. But in the 8th grade, as I said, there was this rumor that was spread about me, and it went through in a period of 24 hours. And what people said about me was that I was gay. And it was really hard. I was so confused. I mean, people would come up to me at my locker and be like, Mark, is it true? Are you gay? And I'm like, what? Where did you get that? What are you talking about? And then I go home and people are texting me and people are instant messaging me all these questions like, is it true? Is it true? And I'm like, no. But people wouldn't believe me. And then I'm like, oh, when I found out how it happened, you guys, this is where it gets even worse. So the person who started this rumor was my best friend. It's my best friend at this whole school. And that's what happened. It was so hard. So I asked Jesus recently, Jesus, help me through this. I remembered the pain. I told him what it felt like. I told him how sad and how angry I was. And Jesus, why would my best friend do that to me? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why did people in the school even believe him? Why would they do that? Jesus, why would people be so mean to me and pick on me so much? Why, Jesus? And I remember I told Jesus recently, I think after this, I felt that the only person in this world that I could trust was myself. Why would I trust somebody else with my full self, that full emotional spectrum, when they're going to go behind my back and tell lies? Why would I do that? And guys, in that moment is when I remembered Jesus saying, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And so in that moment, I was able to come from here and spread at least a little bit further and allow Jesus to see me because I trusted him to be there with me. Guys, I cried for a long time. This is just a couple weeks ago. I cried for probably a half hour straight. At the same time, it was one of the warmest, deepest, best experiences that I've ever had. Because Jesus met me there and he said, I see you. I saw your pain. I get it. I'm with you, and I will never leave you, and I love you, and you can trust me. Guys, that's how we draw closer to Jesus. That's how we draw closer to Jesus. And in me doing that, I take up this chain of this burden that held onto me for so long, 10 plus years since 8th grade. And I said, take it, Jesus. Take it for me, please. So guys, we're going to do this together. Okay? As Ryan comes up to play with us, I hope that when you guys look at the screen with the sachet, with the emotions up here, you can see one of those and you can remember a time where you felt something. And you felt one of those. And I encourage you, focus on that feeling intensely. Why do you think you felt that way? Why do you think you felt sad? Why do you think you felt angry? Why were you scared? Why were you so excited? And share that with Jesus. He's here with us. He's here with us. I mean, if you want to feel close to him, if you want to draw close to him, allow him into those parts of your life that you typically hide. What parts of your life do you hide? Trust me, he wants to be with you. He wants to be close to you. He wants to see your full self. He wants to see you spread from there to there. So let's give it all to him today. Let's expand ourselves for a few minutes. Ryan's going to sing Nothing But the Blood, one of my favorite songs of all time. If you guys want to sing, awesome. If you need some time to reflect and pray through this, awesome. Take it. Take it. He's here with us. So again, let's experience one of these emotions that we typically hide from. Let's experience Jesus. I'm going to pray for you guys. Jesus, thank you for being with us. Thank you for loving us through everything. For accepting us for who we are when we're really excited and when we're full of despair and we're depressed. I thank you so much. Lord, thank you for dying on the cross for us. Thank you for being born to this earth to show us your love. Thank you for Christmas. Jesus, we love you. And I just pray courage over every student in here, that they'll be able to actually invite you into something that they feel that they've been hiding from for a long time, or even just a week. Lord Jesus, you are here with us, and thank you so much for your love.